I haven't gotten much of a chance to talk about Paul Thomas Anderson yet. I haven't even seen all of his works, but I do thoroughly enjoy them. I can also always revisit his works and discover something new to admire. From what I have seen, he tends to have this pattern where he will do a serious film and then do something pretty fun and then do another dramatic period piece and then do something fun again. And it's kind of a going back and forth. Usually they have psychological thematics where the energy may not be high because it's usually a bit more dialogue driven. One Battle After Another is not only a contemporary piece, but it just feels like PTA is doing more. That's all that I have thought about since I've seen this movie. One Battle After Another finally features Leonardo DiCaprio in his first PTA film. He plays a stoned and worn out father named Bob who is on a mission to rescue his own daughter Willa, who's played by Chase Infiniti. Let me just go ahead and start off by saying, yes, the movie is almost 3 hours long, but man, the pacing is so quick that I just didn't even really notice it. Maybe it's because the camera is constantly moving and it is just one thing after another in this movie. It also helps that we have a first act that perfectly transitions into the second act and so forth. It kind of feels like each act is almost one big set piece or just one scene with little trinkets that sets up the second act or the third act pretty well. If you're not invested in the first act, then I just don't think you're going to be in it for the long haul. But like I said earlier, what really helps for me is that camera movement. While I think the editing is slick, it's really the cinematography that's doing a lot of heavy lifting. When the camera is moving and constantly in action, that just means something is going down. The characters are on the run. They're about to destroy something. They're even just thinking about what to do in this exact moment. When it is still, we as the viewers are safe. Even when we are with white supremacists that are just sitting and talking in a room, we as the viewers are gonna be fine. To sort of quote the movie, it's kind of like ocean waves. There's just a nice rhythm to it. And seeing PTA do action is so fascinating to me. We got not one, but two really amazing car chase sequences that are completely different from one another. One of them feels like it's inspired by the French Connection. It's high octane energy, it's frantic, it feels and looks big. But then there's another one that reminds me of something that I would see in a Hitchcock movie. I know everyone has said that this specific chase sequence just feels like a roller coaster ride. Yeah, it is kind of like a ride, but man, the way that it makes you as a viewer just feel immersed in that way, oh my gosh, it is totally convincing. Plus, it just works thematically and narratively for Chase Infiniti's character, Willa. I guess I can go ahead and start talking about everybody else in the movie, and I'll just go ahead and start with Infiniti. This is her feature film debut, so I've never seen her before. I'm just excited to see what's gonna come from her in the future based off of this. She's acting along with some very great actors, and just the way she's able to steal a lot of those scenes is kind of insane to me. The first shot of Infiniti even feels like PTA is just saying, introducing to you Chase Infiniti. Get a good look at her. You're gonna see her for a long, long time. Her character is reacting to the disorder that previous generation has put onto her, and there's just a lot of weight to how she is handling these moments. And part of that is because of her father, Bob, who's played by Leo DiCaprio. Bob is a has-been. He is someone who was heavily involved with explosives during his part of the revolution, and now he's just washed up, he's out of shape, he drinks a lot, he smokes a lot, and he's just had a huge effect on Willa by not really giving her the entire freedom that she deserves, the type of childhood that she could have compared to anyone else. And this gives a lot of opportunities for DiCaprio to do something a little bit different. It seems like this is kind of his own version of the dude. And this gives Leo a lot of opportunities to be funny. And I'm sure part of it is because of PTA's script, but it seems like Leo has seemed to find his stride with humor. And from what I've gathered, it seems like when his character is frustrated, that's when DiCaprio gets to have a lot more fun with the dialogue. But even though DiCaprio is doing some humor while he's on this long chase to find his daughter, he's also doing a great job at playing a father who could never connect with her either. We really only have one scene between these characters that establishes their whole relationship. And yes, part of it again is because of PTA's writing that really helps this, but DiCaprio's way of trying to be an open person and a trustworthy father just shows enough for us to believe their relationship. Infiniti is also going up against Sean Penn. At some point, it felt like this movie was about him, about his carelessness, his obsession, and obstruction just to get to his goal point. He really just got that old tough man walk, that aesthetic, that personality, that vibe. He really got that down to the core. Part of it has to do with his silly little haircut and that one suit he is constantly wearing throughout the movie. It's a whole embodiment in one character that I thought was interesting. The next person I want to bring up is Teyana Taylor, who is in the spotlight for the entire first act. What makes her character Perfidia fascinating to me is seeing how she is energized while she's in the French 75. She gets excited after they've successfully raided an area. It seems like she's far more in it for the thrill, and I do wish there was a bit more to her character though, but I don't find it a big issue for some of the themes that this movie's going for. While there is development with Perfidia, I think the movie is more interested in showing different sides of being a leader, whether that's being a leader in an activist group, in a military, or in your community. Perfidia, and in my eyes, a lot of other people in the French 75, are showing this side of just being in it for the excitement. And yes, they are able to get their message across out sometimes, but even then, it seems like Perfidia is just putting herself first. Now, comparing her to Benicio del Toro's character is really what makes me admire a lot about this movie. Toro is playing Willa's dojo master Sensei. His character is this kind of man where without hesitation, he will help someone. Sensei has a community that doesn't rely on secret codes or anything like that. He helps Bob and he's helping his community as well. Sensei even takes time to make sure Bob gets to meet people who live with Sensei during this frantic moment. He makes sure that everyone around him are human. It's just showing two different types of groups where, yes, they may be fighting for the same cause. Is one doing it better than the other? It's kind of up for you to decide that, and that's one thing I really admire about this. Another thing that I just forgot to mention is Jonny Greenwood's score. That's amazing. While there are strings involved, it's really that piano score for me. The piano just feels frantic and unpredictable. It fits the scenes and tones perfectly with Bob trying to just find a way to charge his phone and to find his daughter. It just adds another layer of intensity. The really nice thing about One Battle After Another is that it's pretty accessible to watch. There is social commentary about today's political climate, but I think it is more focused on themes about being a parent and being a leader in your community. The pacing just goes by super fast. I promise those 3 hours really just go like that. I think all of the performances are stellar, which is crazy to say. I just would have never guessed I'd be really interested in a Sean Penn performance in 2025, but here we are. I think each character fits their own ideologies that are interesting enough to dissect. As of recording this, I've only seen this movie once, and I have just not stopped thinking about it since then. I cannot wait to go see this film again, but if you have not seen a PTA film, this is still a good first start for you. I think it's tonally fine. There's nothing super crazy about it. It's not slow. It's funny. It's a good time. I mean, you can never go wrong with at least watching something else beforehand. I don't really have a specific recommendation on which one to watch first. Maybe don't watch Inherent Vice first. Maybe that should never be anybody's first PTA film. But I think this is just something a bit easier to digest compared to his other works. It's fantastic. I cannot recommend this movie enough. Please go see it in a theater. You will feel completely immersed in this world. Can't recommend it enough. And with that, I'm gonna give One Battle After Another a 4.5 out of 5. And that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this if you made it this far. Have you seen the movie? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know down below. I am quite curious. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want just to be aware of what I am going to be working on next. Make sure you exercise every day, drink your milk, and have a great day.